Did you ever want to play a GTA game, Star Wars Edition? The Phantom Menace on PS4 and PS5 delivers, kind of. It's a charmingly glitchy adventure, but prepare for janky controls, questionable design choices and enough bugs to make R2-D2 sputter. And yes, even Jar Jar's questionable platforming skills. But hey, that's half the fun! We're lightsabering through the weird, wonderful and sometimes nonsensical world of the Phantom Menace game. The year was 1999 and the hype was real. Star Wars was back, bigger and shinier than ever. In its prequel, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace was about to explode onto the silver screen. But LucasArts wasn't content with just a cinematic splash. They unleashed a marketing invasion, blanketing the world with pod racer toys, Jedi action figures, comic book adaptations, fan conventions and, of course, the video game. Over 70 licensing deals were made, including major brands like Pepsi and Lego. 2 official video game titles, Racer and The Phantom Menace, were released, alongside pinball games and others. The PC version of The Phantom Menace curiously launched the day before the movie, which allowed people to spoil the story for everyone else. Well, both the PC and a later iteration boasted an ambitious blend of open-world exploration and action-adventure gameplay. You could roam the bustling streets of Mos Espa, barter with shady merchants, and simply kill everyone. This was your chance to carve your own path through the Star Wars universe. Critics were divided, however, just like the film itself. Some applauded the game's ambition, praising its unique blend of exploration and combat. They reveled in the sheer scope, feeling transported to a living, breathing Star Wars universe for the first time. Others, however, were frustrated about the technical shortcomings. Glitches lurked around every corner, the voice acting was questionable, and the controls sometimes felt more like suggestions than actual commands. The lightsabers may have dimmed and the pod racers rusted over, but fear not, the Phantom Menace is re-released on PlayStation 4 and 5. Actually, the announcement of the re-release hasn't been received very well, but I'm here to prove them wrong. This isn't your dusty PS1 disc anymore. The Force has blessed this re-release with up-rendering to glorious 4K, making those body pieces look extra crispy, and Obi-Wan's blue blade hum with breathtaking detail. Feeling a little rusty on your lightsaber skills? No worries. The game now offers a rewind and quick save feature to get you out of any sticky situation. Those pesky laser grids haven't gotten any easier after all. And for those who like to add a personal touch, there are even custom video filters. But remember, this isn't your typical modern Star Wars experience. This game is a snapshot of a different era, where old-fashioned controls were enhanced with repetitive enemies, and platforming sections made Jar Jar Binks seem surprisingly spry. While it may lack the polish and complexity of modern titles, it offers a unique perspective on the events of the film, letting you forge your own path through familiar moments. Of course, with any journey into the past, there are bound to be some bumps along the way. Remember that strange glitch where Qui-Gon's voice sounded like it was guarding gravel?
Watch your tongue, friend.
Well, fear not, for we'll delve into the hilariously bizarre quirks of this game later. For now, just know that the Phantom Menace's re-release is a chance to revisit a bygone era of Star Wars gaming, a time when glitches were just another adventure waiting to be discovered. The Phantom Menace may have been about Jedi and pod racers, but its video game counterpart went broke, ditching the traditional 3D perspective for a bird's eye view. Forget looking over Obi-Wan's shoulder as he deflects blaster bolts. Instead, you're a tactical mastermind, guiding him through the swamps of Naboo and droid-infested corridors. This camera angle does limit your view a bit, but at the same time adds immersion to the level design. It's an unusual take for a Star Wars game, but it isn't a bad one. It's just different if you compare it to, let's say, Star Wars Obi-Wan on Xbox. A fairly unknown game actually, you should check it out if you want. But you're not stuck playing just Jedi in this game. The Force lets you switch various characters between levels. Qui-Gon's stoic wisdom guiding your lightsaber hand, Obi-Wan's will to force push, Captain Panika's ability to throw nukes, and even Queen Amidala's blaster-wielding defiance. Each character feels distinct, bringing unique abilities and playstyles to the table. While you can't switch freely, it still is like having your own Star Wars party, each member contributing their strengths to the galactic brawl. Fun fact, this game was among the first 3D Star Wars games to feature lightsaber duels as a combat feature. And speaking of brawls, here's a twist the movie never dared to explore. In this game you can kill almost anyone. Unlike most Star Wars games, where harming major characters triggers instant game over, the Phantom Menace grants you a surprising amount of freedom. Want to unleash your inner Sith and take down an innocent bystander? Go for it. Feeling vengeful towards the Gungans? Well, let's just say the Force won't judge you too harshly. This level of freedom, while initially shocking, creates a unique sandbox experience where your choices, both heroic and ruthless, have tangible impacts. The fact that this game was regarded for kids is still a weird decision in my opinion. But just remember, with great power comes great responsibility, and potentially awkward stares from other characters who witness your lightsaber rampage. But the Phantom Menace isn't just about lightsaber slashes and blaster barrages. The game tossed in a mix of platforming, combat and even puzzle solving elements, which gives a nice variety to the gameplay. Remember the Thief Generator complex? Prepare to test your acrobatic skills as you navigate those horrendous platforms. The game doesn't shy away from challenging your agility, maybe a bit too much, but mastering these sections can be as rewarding as deflecting a hail of blaster fire. And for those who like to explore beyond the beaten path, the Phantom Menace holds secrets close to its core. Hidden areas await discovery, tucked away in Mos Espa's back alleys and Coruscant's narrow corridors. Seek them out and you might stumble upon Easter eggs referencing beloved Star Wars lore, or find bonus items to power up your character. This non-linear design encourages exploration, rewarding your curiosity with delightful surprises. Just be warned, young Padawan, that sometimes exploration can lead to frustration. Remember that elusive switch you searched for hours on end, only to realize it was hidden behind a seemingly insignificant building? The Force can be a tricky master, testing your patience alongside your skills. While there is variety in gameplay, it's a shame they didn't implement a pod racing minigame. They didn't even show a simple clip in the cutscene, but that's because of budget constraints. But it's understandable, since another game called Episode 1 Racer came out on the same day. In 1999, the Phantom Menace game delighted us with its visuals. Sure, by today's standards the blocky characters and pre-rendered backgrounds might bring out more nostalgia than amazement, but back then, it was like peering into the future, thinking graphics couldn't possibly get better. Recall those realistic looking forests from Naboo, the computer rooms from the Trade Federation ship, and wandering on Coruscant? The graphics were groundbreaking for its time. Fast forward to today, and the PS5 version polishes that nostalgia with a gentle hand. The upscaling to 4K breathes new life into the environments, making Mos Espa's markets feel even more vibrant and the passages of Otoganga even more immersive. Yet the core visuals remain true to their standards, offering a charmingly retro experience that reminds us of simpler times. But the magic doesn't just reside in the visuals. The Phantom Menace's soundtrack remains a masterpiece, John Williams' score weaving its familiar magic throughout the game. Every lightsaber clash resonates with the iconic hum, and the sweeping orchestra pieces perfectly capture the epic scope of the Star Wars universe. Even the ambient sounds add to the immersion, from the bustling hum of Mos Espa
Do you make fresh dried choke?
to the chirping creatures of Naboo. It's an audio-visual experience that draws you deeper into the game's world, reminding you why you fell in love with Star Wars in the first place. Of course, nostalgia can sometimes cloud our judgment. While the soundtrack holds up remarkably well, some sound effects haven't aged as gracefully. The blaster fire might sound a little more like pea shooters now, and some NPCs' unique vocalizations haven't been remastered.
Okay, no need for violence.
Similarly, the graphics, while charmingly retro, do reveal their limitations in close-up encounters. Characters can appear a bit stiff, and textures lack the detail we're accustomed to in modern games. But here's the thing, the Phantom Menace isn't about pushing the boundaries of graphical or sonic fidelity, it's about reliving a specific era of Star Wars game, filled with blocky charm, memorable memories, and the sheer joy of exploring a galaxy far, far away. The Phantom Menace may have aimed for epic lightsaber duels and platforming glory, but the Force, it seems, had a different sense of humor. Glitches and janky design choices creep throughout the game, like mischievous droids hiding in the shadows. Remember Barbo following you like a bug in Mos Espa, making talking to other NPCs quite hard and unintentionally funny. Or battling the AAT tank on Naboo while the tank pins you down and you can't get out, or getting stuck inside some rocks. These glitches are just a few of the dozen, but while sometimes frustrating, often becomes a charming part of the experience. And that sense of humor extends beyond technical hiccups. The game's dialogue sparkles with unintentional fun.
Monster, help me!
Thanks to NPCs spouting nonsensical pronouncements and characters delivering lines with the subtlety of a brick to the face.
I gotta get this boat out of here!
Remember Qui-Gon's gravel gargle voice filter?
Watch your tongue, friend.
Making his pronouncements sound like cryptic wisdom delivered from the depths of a Jawa sandcrawler? Or Jar Jar's enthusiastic pronouncements?
Hello, Daddy!
Delivered with the vocal stylings of a hyperactive gang droid? These moments, while occasionally cringeworthy, become a source of endless amusement, which complements the game's quirky charm. But let's not forget the intentional humor, from Jar Jar's slapstick antiques, though opinions may vary, to the tongue-in-cheek references scattered throughout the game. The Phantom Menace knows how to make you chuckle. Remember the Mos Espa merchant who, with impeccable salesmanship, tries to convince you fresh dried choki is a valuable good? These moments, sprinkled throughout the adventure, remind you that the game never takes itself too seriously. While the game stays true to the movie most of the time, sometimes the intentions of characters get twisted, like in the scene where Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan meet Boss Nass. While in the movie they try to befriend the Gungans, in the game Qui-Gon is quite mean to the creatures.
Why do we need that worthless creature?
This, however, offers a memorable interpretation of the Phantom Menace movie. So, is the Phantom Menace game a masterpiece of video game design? Probably not. Is it polished to a shine and glitch-free? Far from it. But does it hold a special place in the hearts of many Star Wars fans and gamers alike? Absolutely. You know, for as unhealthy as they were for the industry, tight deadlines, poor working conditions, etc., I kind of miss these kind of tie-in games that used to be all over the place. The vibes and gameplay of these sort of games are unique in a way that makes them super memorable. It may not boast cutting-edge visuals or sound design, but it offers something far more valuable: nostalgia, humor, and a chance to explore the galaxy in a unique way. So what about you? Do you have any fun memories of the Phantom Menace game? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's look back at this delightfully janky but surprisingly charming piece of Star Wars history together. And if you like this video, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. May the Force and the memories be with you.